guys, it is Mike from Baltimore Rides here. Thursday night, December 28th. The year is almost over, but the night is done. So it's about 1 a.m. and I have called it quits for the night. A lot of different reasons. All in all, it was a medium night, $150. Again, Lyft performed better than usual. $70-something with Lyft and $70-something with Uber. So it was almost a tie, like neck and neck. And I will say this, and Ken, who probably is going to see this in the next day or so, he wins the prize. Him and I were talking on the phone about Lyft and their incentives. You know, their version of the kind of boost and quest incentives that Lyft has. It's power driver bonuses or power zone, whatever the hell they're called. And I haven't qualified for them. I don't know why, but I've never gotten any Lyft incentives whatsoever. So him and I were on the phone earlier today while I was taking a break, and just got me thinking, hey, you know what? Why don't I just give them a call and figure it out? So I called Lyft's customer support. Not bad, actually a very pleasant experience. And I said, look, I don't know why I don't qualify for bonuses. I'm a DC driver, I drive in DC, blah, blah, blah. Figure it out. What's the deal? And he said, oh, your account's funky. You drive in DC, but it doesn't have DC as your designated city. I can fix that real quick. Click, click, click. And you should be good to go. He said, you'll get bonuses and stuff starting next week. Well, apparently Lyft's system is lickety-split fast, because about an hour later, my dashboard started to show power zone and all that nonsense. So I don't really understand it yet. Like, I get it. It says I've got to maintain a 90% acceptance rate. I've got to do 30 trips in power hours, which are basically like rush hour, peak hours, if you want to call it that. And then I've got to do a total number of trips to get the bonus. And then the next tier up is, obviously more trips. And then the next tier up is more trips, and so on and so forth. So what I don't know, and I really want to figure this out, I want to become a student of this, is A, what is the time frame? Is it a Sunday through Saturday? Is it Monday through Sunday? Like, I don't know how Lyft's calendar week breaks down for incentives. And just kind of how that all works. So I will become a better student of Lyft. And ultimately, guys, at the end of the day, as long as I make my $1,150 to $1,200 a week, I don't care who I give the money to. Like, if it's Lyft rides, it's Lyft rides. If it's Uber rides, it's Uber rides. It doesn't really bother me. Like, at the end of the day, we're talking Target, Walmart here. The comparison between the two products is very similar. So, and they have certain things about each one that I like and dislike. I'm not going to lie. There's little quirky, little stupid things about each system, service, provider. Uber support is atrocious. I mean, I would just, whatever building the Uber support people work in, like, honestly, if I had a criminal element to me, or if I was at all a nefarious person, I would just burn the building to the ground. I mean, I really would. Like, not with the people in it, of course, but their whole process is atrocious. Anybody that's ever called them or emailed Uber support understands what I'm talking about here. It's basically like, if I got my 4 cats together and I put a headset on a couple of them and I gave them a keyboard, I would probably get better results. Just saying. Whereas with Lyft today, this is the second time I've had to call Lyft. Really, really friendly. Very, very knowledgeable. The Uber people, it feels to me like every time I call them, they're scrambling for some papers on their desk or in their computer to figure out what the hell to say. And that's not really confidence inspiring when you're basically like asking them I need help with something, and they're like shuffling to figure out what it is you're talking about. Whereas the Lyft people, like, they sound like they know what the hell they're talking about. So I would definitely say in a grudge match Lyft support wins versus Uber. I think the Uber software app is better than Lyft's software app. I can find out more information easier and quicker on the Uber app. I can find ride information, trip information, destination, mileage, fare calculations, like anything that I want to know. My rating system is more thorough. Anything I really want to know about my ride-sharing business is in the Uber app, whereas the Lyft app is kind of minimalistic. Sometimes it links you back to the dashboard web address, which literally just opens a web browser window and takes you to their website. Like, it's kind of clunky. I'm not really too thrilled with it. So there's things about each one that, you got to just take it or leave it. But I feel like they're both getting better. Every day they try and do things a little bit differently. So be that as it may. So it was a good night. I ended up with a ride that took me all the way out deep into Rockville, and it was 12 something in the morning. There wasn't really anything going on back in DC, and I had one of two options. I could trudge back to DC to scrounge some scraps for probably an extra $25 or so until my body gave out, or I could just take advantage of the little leapfrog that the passenger gave me and start trudging home. So I'm going to do that because I was up earlier than usual today because I had to take my mom to the doctor, and I just never really got the good nap that I needed after last night. So I'm going to take advantage of it. I will be on the road Friday, Saturday, Sunday longer than usual. I imagine my hours will be pretty extensive, but I don't know what they're going to look like. I mentioned it the other day to you guys, but basically my mom who's 72, is staying with us right now temporarily. Kind of a complicated situation, but basically she got in a pickle and she needed a place to stay. And we're it. So I'm an only child, don't have any siblings. My dad's passed away, so she's got no one. And, it was kind of one of those situations where you do the right thing, even though it's not always fun, but you do the right thing. So my mom is staying with us right now, and I'm kind of helping her resettle or migrate to live closer to my wife and I, and obviously my kids, which are her grandkids. So, just on top of my already steaming plate of crap that I have to deal with, in my personal life, add another spoonful of just stress, just stuff. And you guys have all this too. I mean, I'm not the only one in life with stress. I'm not the only one in life with bills and craziness and just whatever. But, that's what's been going on in Mikey's world. So, it's been an interesting few weeks since she's been crashing with us. And I will say, wow. So, it is what it is. But I'm definitely going to be on the road the next 3 days because honestly, this is my happy place, guys. There's a level of sanity in these four car seats. This is my little my island all to myself. And my house is a little wild right now. My kids are not in school because of Christmas break or winter break, whatever the hell they call it. And my mom is there, and it's just, it's a little wild. So this is my happy place for the time being for the next couple days until my kids rotate back to school on Tuesday. So, and then everything gets into structure, school, after school activities, routine, the world reboots and kind of goes back into structure mode. But right now it's kind of wild and crazy at my house because my kids are just being kids. They're doing what kids do when they're on Christmas break vacation. So there you go. And I feel like this is going to be a gold mine weekend. I was telling somebody tonight, you got Friday night, you got Saturday night, and then wait, you got Sunday, New Year's Day, the big enchilada. Because people don't have to work on Monday. It's New Year's Day. So New Year's Eve, Sunday night, It's not a Sunday, guys. Think about Friday, Saturday mayhem. Add on to that holiday mayhem. Add on to that New Year's Eve party mayhem. Yep. It's going to be wild and crazy, guys. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Speaking of crazy, guys, this is an interesting situation, and I want to bring it up because I think it's relevant. It's relevant to talking about crazy New Year's Eve partying. So my second customer, the first time was the lady that barfed in my car, what was it, a week or two ago. But again, tonight, pull up for a pickup. It's like somewhere in Silver Spring. And the door opens, this dude gets in the back seat, and he's just destroyed. I mean, he's completely wasted. Shit-faced drunk, pardon the language, but that's really the only word I can think of. And his girl doesn't get in. And she's like, hey, okay, goodbye. And I'm like, whoa, hold the phone there, missy. Are you getting in with him? No, I've got to go. Well, he can't ride without you. I said, look, your name's on the account, so you're either riding with him or he's not riding. Because he's destroyed, he is going to puke. Don't say he's not, because I wasn't born yesterday. And you've got to ride with him. Your name's on the account. So if you want to go with him, I'll take both of you. But he's not riding in the car by himself. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I wasn't doing it, guys. Because the last time was a disaster. I feel like if there's a semi-sober person in the car, they can keep an eye on the drunk person in the back seat while I'm paying attention to the road and driving. But if it's just me and Drunky McDrunkerson in the back seat, all like passed out, woozy, whatever, how the hell do I know the person puked? Like, what am I going to do? And Lady Puker, the one from a week or two ago, like, I don't know when she puked. Did she puke when she fell over and passed out? Did she puke right before she got it? Like, I don't know. It could have been 10 minutes into the ride. It could have been right at the end. Like, I don't know. There was nothing I could have done. At least if there's a semi-sober person tending to their drunk buddy, there's a chance that somebody can be like, oh, quick, pull over, and save the bell. So I will not be driving drunk people without buddies. I just feel like that's the way to go. I'm okay and that was a long trip. It had the stupid long trip notification next to it, which is like, oh my God, that's like Russian roulette with vomit. If it was a 5-minute or down the road, I probably would have been like, I'll roll the dice. But there's no way I'm doing a 45-minute plus ride with Drunky McDrunkerson, who could barely stand. Barely stand. No way. No way. No way. So, word of caution, guys. You're going to have a lot more drunk people than usual this weekend. Take it from me. You don't want a drunk person in your car by themselves. Oh, I mean, I'm not talking like, had a few too many drunk. I'm talking about like destroyed drunk. Because if you're up in the front and they're in the back, you have no way to really know what's going on. And it doesn't leave you a lot of options. It just doesn't. Like, you can't be back there helping them and driving the car. So just think about that wildly. And it's bad form. Like, it just hits me on a moral level. Like, you're a horrible human being if you get your buddy wasted and then you don't even make sure they get home in one piece. You just shove them in a car and say, see you, bye. So I'm not doing it, guys. I just can't. I'll gladly give up that fare. But, just use that, take that with a grain of salt. But I'll be honest, guys, it's a dangerous game putting a drunk person in your car when you don't have any way to know what's going on behind you. So just an FYI. And no $150 cleanup is worth that headache. I'm just being honest with you. Because it was like 10:45 when that happened. That would have ruined my entire night. There would have been no working. I mean, if he puked on my seats, I would have been done. My night would have been over. So, and then, Uber took like 48, 72 hours the last time to resolve that mess. So, And then you get into the account holders not in the car, not on the ride. It's too much he said, she said nonsense. So I'd rather not take that chance. And knowing that this weekend is going to be more and more drunk people, because it's going to be like a party weekend, that's going to be my new golden rule is, no drunk people flying solo. But I'm going to sign off here, guys, because I'm running out of steam and I'm kind of long-winded tonight. I'm just rambling. So I will be back on the road tomorrow. But everybody be safe out there. Ken, you get the bonus points for that one, buddy, because you kind of gave me the idea to call Lyft and it worked out. So I owe you one. And I'll talk to you guys later.